brand new, at the halfway point, we do stop and get a drink of water, and I want you to get one too. Julie is having, and this isn't just because she's having this challenge, but Julie has, over in our Facebook group, has wound down the summer challenge, and now she has started a water challenge. And you can drink a little water or a lot of water. It really doesn't matter. She's just challenging us to keep up with it. And I've noticed a lot of people have adopted if you were going to drink 60 ounces of water a day, a lot of people have adopted the 60 over 60 so that they could show, or like 48 over 60 or 24 over 60, so they can show how far they've made it in their day. But we're at the halfway point in this chat, so everybody stop and drink some water. And I'm just about at my 60. Oh, and apparently Melinda was going to buy all the pepper jack string cheese if she lived in the same state as Vicky. Okay, so this is the second half. And I've already forgotten the chat number. This is the second half of chat number 284. See, like Lynn has 48 of her 64 in. Good job, Lynn. This is the second half of chat number 284, and on this journey we're talking about more go-to foods in the first half. In the second half, it's always something fun. When the apron comes on, that's how you know that the fun is getting ready to start. So again, for new people, the first half of the chat, this is an hour-long chat, okay? An hour long. So, oh wait, Caroline says, always love cooking demos, still have to try the mug cake, LOL. Yeah, you do. So this one took a little longer, so I'm not going to show you how to make these things tonight, but we're going to talk about what to do with them, okay? And then I'll show you later in the week. I think Kendall and I are going to make these again on Tuesday, so maybe I can talk her into doing a little video with me on Tuesday. But we have, in the second half of tonight's chat, we are winding down the Summer of Savings. So in the second half of all of these chats, if you're watching these later on YouTube, Casey posts them as an hour long. This is the entire chat. It's the classroom portion and the fun part. Or when the apron comes on, she posts that as extra credit. So if you wanted to go back and see a recipe, if you wanted to go back and see how we made something, if you just needed to go back and see some of the tips, just look for when the apron comes on. And I hope you all know that everything that I say gets typed. So Jessica types everything that I say and posts it on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com as notes. And I can't tell if y'all print them or not. So I hope that you're printing them, because we go to a lot of trouble to type them so that you don't have to take notes and you can just listen and sit there and relax and do your nails or something, while you're listening. So again, we're winding down the Summer of Savings. So school has started back up in most areas of the country, or is starting back up. And this is the last week of the Summer of Savings, and I'm hoping that it's been fun. Let me know if it's been fun. So let's maybe see some thumbs ups or maybe some smiling face emojis or something. Let me see if I can do that. Let's see. I can. Actually, I'll do the laughing emoji because I think it has been fun. It's been fun for me to do the Summer of Savings. I hope you've enjoyed it too, and I hope that you will comment below and let me know if you found a favorite way to save money this summer. So as we wind this down, last week was the 3-day, and thank you all for those. Last week was the 3-day Shop Your Pantry Challenge, and boy howdy was it an eye-opener for me. I found 15 individual size bags of popcorn and about 12 boxes of sugar-free Jell-O. Why? I don't know why. I also realized that I own way more food than I realized, and I managed to purchase all of the groceries that I needed for the next few days, like actually for the next several days. I purchased, because I already owned so much food, and I did the Shop Your Pantry Challenge for 3 days and made a list of everything that I had, and I actually found some things that were like hidden behind other things, and I used one of them tonight. But I made the list, and tonight I was able to get what I needed for the next 4 or 5 days with change, okay? By using what I already owned, by using the, oh, Teresa? Is Teresa here? Hello, Teresa. Everybody say hello to Teresa. Is Teresa new, Sylvia? Hello. But anyway, by shopping my own pantry and seeing what I had and making a list and checking it twice and checking it thrice, I used change. So I took a bag of change to the grocery store today, and I got everything that I needed, hello Deborah, for the next few days, like 4 or 5 days, with a bag of change. Okay, yes, change. Now I'm only feeding a household of 2 with an occasional small visitor. And there's Teresa, with an occasional small visitor. So I'm not feeding a big family on this, but still, I have so much food in my pantry, freezer, my refrigerator, the refrigerator here at Casey Kitchen Center, the pantry here at Casey Kitchen Center. I have so much food that I was able to buy my groceries with a bag of change, and I even got my fancy expensive milk. So my Fairlife fat-free milk is not cheap. I even bought my milk and still got it all with a bag of change, okay? That's crazy. And I'm just going to say again, we are spoiled, okay? Not trying to be a downer. I'm just saying, just admitting it out loud for myself and for God and the rest of us. We are spoiled, okay? So, I also realized that I'm most likely to veer off track and spend money needlessly if I'm not prepared to eat something that I already own. So if I don't know what I already own, I'm much more likely to go, sure, I'll take such and such when you go, go pick it up. So having things being prepared, y'all know that I'm not big on meal prep in the sense of eating yes, we are, Pam. We're spoiled and blessed. Yes, we are. But y'all know I'm not big on eating the same things every single day, but I decided I better get a few meal prep pointers for the dummies, and I'm counting myself as one of the dummies. I'm pointing my finger at myself, that I better get some, a few meal prep pointers for dummies, down so that I can keep this up, because it has been an eye opener, but it has also been a delicious eye opener. Okay, so I'm gonna say, first and foremost, make a list of what you have. So my first meal prep for dummies pointer is make a list of what you already have. It sounds overwhelming, it sounds tedious, it sounds boring. Just do it, and you may be surprised. I did find some things that I didn't realize that I had. I called it shopping your pantry. Deanna's family calls it living off the land. We had another Lynn in another group that called it something else, and I forgot to write down what she called it, but it was equally cute. You can't prep if you don't know what you're starting with. Okay, so make a list. And my list was quite extensive, and again, I found something like I didn't know I had a bag of riced cauliflower with riced sweet potatoes in it. Didn't know I had that, so I used that tonight. Did not know that I had two big bags of old-fashioned oatmeal. That was expensive, old-fashioned oatmeal, okay? It's Bob's, wait, is that what it's called? Bob's Red Mill, extra rolled, organic, whatever, fill in all the words, oats. I had 2 big bags of it. That's probably, if I had to guess, $20. It's probably $20 in old-fashioned oats, okay? Stuff I didn't even know I had. And this is not my first time shopping my pantry. So first thing, make a list of what you have. Just do it. Just go ahead and just do it. When you're in there looking for, when you think you've got a, frozen Snickers and the whatever, while you're in there looking for your frozen Snickers that you hid from yourself, just go ahead and make a list of everything that's in your pantry. Even things that are already used. And for heaven's sake, if it's not marked, go ahead and take this opportunity to mark it if you think you know what it is. I still have the bag of unmarked frozen, Super Cubes frozen soup that I'm just going to have to break down and eat this week so I can find out what kind it is and then mark the bag. So mark the bags. Okay. Second thing is use your tools, like marking your bags. Okay. I had things in the freezer that I actually had to smell, do the sniff test, whatever, to figure out what I had. Okay. And Sylvia says that's why we end up with so much, because we don't know what we have. And that's exactly right. Okay. So I had many things last week. I had a bag, I opened it. I thought it was more frozen pumpkin. It was marinara. I had frozen marinara in a Super Cubes in one of these and packed it in a freezer bag, probably during a chat, and never wrote on the bag what it was. So guess what? I can have spaghetti this week if I want it. I can have spaghetti in what I'm going to show you here in a little while if I want it. But I had, let me think, 8 1 cup size portions of frozen marinara sauce that I didn't even know that I had in there. So use your tools. One of your tools is a Sharpie marker. some kind of a permanent marker. Write on these things what they are. Labels. Label, if you're going to put something in a jar, label it so that you know what it is. Freezer bags. I have a box. It was a box of 120 quart size freezer bags. I bought the smaller size because I was really bad about buying gallon size freezer bags. And then I would only put a few things in them, and then they would get covered in ice crystals and get shoved in the back of the freezer, and I didn't know what they were. So this time I bought quart-size freezer bags, and I bought plenty of them. I got them at Rural King. If you happen to have a Rural King, RURALKING, Rural King, but we pronounce it Rural King. Plenty of them, freezer bags, and they have a little spot on the front. Write what's in there. I have super cubes. If you've got some kind of a something that you can, milk, just look around. Look around and see what kind of tools you have. So I have super cubes, and I've got them in, all different sizes. Some of you all have those, oh, Carol Lou, is that what you're talking about? Some of you all have those vacuum things that suck the air out of is that what you're talking about, Carol? That suck the air out of it. Use those kind of tools. I've got super cubes. I have I have a pressure canner cooker. I've got jars. I've got jars running out. I've got mason jars. Oh yeah. Okay. So Carol's talking about a food saver. So that's one of those things that you put your food in there, and then it sucks the air out of it, so that it doesn't get freezer burned as fast, and you can still see what it is. But right on it what it is. I have a slow cooker. What tools do you all have that you can use to meal prep? Because I'm sure y'all have got a lot of things that that I don't have. So you probably already own them. You don't need to go buy anything. You probably already own some of these things. Some of y'all have some really cute little bento box things that you can meal prep in. But anyway, so break out your tools, figure out what your tools are. So make your list of food, then figure out what your tools are, and some of the things you won't even realize are going to be tools for meal prepping until you see them, and you kind of start looking through everything and you go, I could use that. I could use that for meal prepping. I could totally do that. Like, I never thought about putting glass jars in the freezer until we made the peach freezer jam, okay? Never even occurred to me to put a mason jar in the freezer. Okay. Use this week's chat, the chat that we just had, chat number 284. Use that to develop your go-to foods list, okay? So if I have a flavored yogurt in the refrigerator, I'm much more likely to eat it and feel like I need to go run through McDonald's. Some of you pre-make little sandwich, little Egg McMuffin type sandwiches, and individual. Who is it that makes those? Because one of you all here does that. Makes little individual, like Egg McMuffin type sandwiches, individually wraps them and puts them in the freezer, so you have them, they're ready. You have to be saving money doing that, and you are for sure saving points doing that. And let's see, Debbie says she freezes her refried beans. What? In a single serving how what? You do? That is super cool. That is super cool that she's freezing. I didn't even know you could freeze refried beans. Doing something like having grapes already washed on hand, makes snack time for me an absolute no-brainer. And yes, prepping and washing your fruits and vegetables before you get home, and then putting them in clear containers where you can see them, putting them at your eye level, that counts as meal prepping. Okay, that absolutely counts as meal prepping. And Sylvia said her husband makes his own sausage biscuits for himself. That's so awesome. Yeah, that is such an awesome way to prep your food. Okay, use your favorite Instagrammer, YouTuber, family member, or friend to help. So I asked Alyssa, my granddaughter Alyssa, who is only 4.5 years old, by the way. I asked her to help me meal prep last week. I asked her to help me shop the pantry and meal prep, and we had sugar-free Jell-O for days. Okay, so she decided that she wanted to meal prep Jell-O. So John had orange Jell-O. I had, and it was all sugar-free, but let's see, John had orange, I had black cherry, and Alyssa had strawberry. That counts as meal prepping, okay? That counts. So it counted as shopping our pantry, and it counted as meal prepping. And if you're on Instagram, at Meal Plan Addict, so if you're on Instagram, if you'll just put in at, yeah, okay, and Debbie also freezes her avocados too. But if you're on Instagram, if you will search at Meal Plan Addict, MEALPLANADDICT, she has some of the most clever ideas that I've seen for meal prepping. Okay, and they're pretty too. So it's pretty, most of them look pretty easy. So she's got some fantastic ideas. So if you like to go ahead and make some things ahead, put them in the freezer, you know, do whatever, or if you like to eat the same thing every day, I think she's a really good one to follow. And then finally, reshop that pantry that we talked about 2 or 3 times in this chat and last week, and use what you have first. Thank you, Debbie, for sharing that. Use what you have first. So the end of season tomatoes that I had last week left me craving and wishing I had more of those. Okay, I don't know how many tomatoes that I've not used up for that. I wish I had more of them. I wish I had some more, and I'm hoping that at our garden that we have just a few more end of season tomatoes. They were absolutely fantastic. I put them on a tortilla with some, because remember I was shopping the pantry. I already had some little tortillas. I had some leftover fat-free ricotta cheese from something else. And I had the end of season tomatoes, and I put it on there and made, I'm not normally a tomato sandwich eater, but oh my gosh, was that good. That was fantastic. This week, I'm using what I found in the freezer to make what I'll show you here in a second, and to make some more overnight oats. So we were talking about overnight oats a few minutes ago, and who were my overnight oats people? So I know some of you are like, absolutely not, wrong texture, don't want to eat them, not gonna happen. But where are my overnight oats eaters? Karen loves her overnight oats, and I just realized I didn't get part of the stuff out to make the overnight oats. Give me just a second. I got so excited getting ready, I left a few of my ingredients. So y'all keep chatting about who my overnight oats eaters are. Debbie loves overnight oats. Oh, I gotta grab one thing out of the refrigerator. I promise I'm coming right back. Keep talking. Oh, and Hattie says, definitely not me. So Hattie, just out of curiosity, is it the texture that you don't like? I was so excited last week with the, Caroline loves them, but she hasn't made them in a while. I was so excited last week with the I made 4 different kinds of pumpkin overnight oats. So I found frozen pumpkin that I had made put in the super cubes. I found some of those in the freezer and identified them and wrote on the bag what it was. And I made 4 different kinds, and they were fantastic. This week, I found one little lonely jar of the peach freezer jam that we made weeks ago. I found that in the freezer, and I already said out loud that I found 2 giant bags of Bob's Red Mill, very expensive. Okay, and Marianne can't get hers to turn out right. So Marianne, use old-fashioned oats. Do not use quick cook oats. But anyway, I was so excited to find to find some of these things. The Bob's Red Mill. I found so I had 2 bags of that. I found that I had this entire thing of chia seeds. I found 4 of these that I didn't know I had. So I found 4 Devotion Nutrition sample packs that my son-in-law had gotten me that, again, forgot that I had. So for this week, I'm making 3 different kinds because, again, I don't want to get bored. So all I did was put about 1/3 of a cup. And you can use any of my overnight oats recipes that are on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. Oh yeah, Susie said they look so good on Instagram. So it's about 1/3 of a cup of oats. If oatmeal is 0 points for you, you can certainly put more in there. I do about a teaspoon of chia seeds. You don't have to do chia seeds. Those do add a point. But I like them. I just like the way that it bulks it up. I did just a sprinkling of the Devotion Nutrition Angel Food Cake. And I'm telling you, that smells fantastic. So that already smells so good. I always do some non-fat plain Greek yogurt. So when I said earlier that I use non-fat plain Greek yogurt in a lot of things. I do. I use it in a lot of things. I don't try to make it into flavored, into flavored yogurt. I would just rather spend those points. One of my go-to foods is to spend those points on already commercially prepared yogurt that has a flavor to it. I just prefer that. So I'm going to put some, and again, these are all on, the overnight oats recipe is on, they're all already on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. So you can just go there. So a little bit of, and you see how carefully I'm measuring all of this, right? Because for me, oats are 0 points. Non-fat plain Greek yogurt, 0 points. The Devotion Nutrition, I think this is like 2 points for the entire thing, and I put a third, a third, and a third, and there's still some left in here. The chia seeds are 1 point, but since oats are 0 points for me, non-fat plain Greek yogurt are 0 points for me. I'm not really worried about how many I'm putting in there. Okay, and before I show you this, everybody calm down. I already checked it. This is not part of the Premier Protein recall, okay? So I've already checked the number. I'm not going to die. Y'all can calm down, but this is Premier Protein Peaches and Cream, and I know there is a big fat recall on some of the Premier Protein products right now. Again, I already checked. This is not one of them. I've checked my numbers. I should be good. Do not be concerned. Won't be dying anytime soon. Not from Premier Protein anyway. But yeah, but check that recall if you didn't see that. I'm going to go ahead and get that all good and stirred up. So again, it's just oats, but it's old-fashioned oats, not quick cook oats. Quick cook oats don't taste the same. And that's why I never liked them. Did not like them. Tried to make myself like them. I kept thinking, what is wrong with me? Why don't I like these things? Everybody else loves them. And it's because I was using quick cook oats instead of old fashioned oats. Just get them stirred up there. And so last week I used frozen pumpkin that I had found. Oh, Sylvia didn't know that there was a recall. Yeah, you might want to look it up. I forget what kind of, does anybody remember what it exactly is? I mean, the word, what you could die from is like this long. Okay, and Debbie says, for those that did not know, the recall is for a lot of different protein drinks, not just Premier. So they're probably all made like, somewhere similar. Let me put a little bit more in this one. So an entire thing of Premier Protein is 2 points. And again, you can see I've divided it up a third, a third, and a third. Okay, so we've got that. And this week, since I found, let's just see what that tastes like so far. Oh, it's very peachy. Oh, goodness. Wow, that's very peachy. And with the angel food cake, oh gosh. Wow, that tastes like a peach pie. But I found, we had one thing. Okay, and thank you for sharing that, Debbie. So I found one little lonely thing of the peach freezer jam in the freezer, of all places. And it was one that I did not realize was still in there because I had used the rest of them on, like English muffins, on toast, things like that. So this is the last little jar of the peach freezer jam, and we didn't want it to be in there and be lonely. And yes, the Fairlife protein shakes are delicious. Those are delicious, Janelle. And I'm just going to mix that in, and then I'll let these sit overnight. And this should taste like, oh, good night, Caroline. It is so late there. Yeah, everybody tell Caroline good night. It is so late there. We just appreciate you being here. But these are going to be the peachiest overnight oats ever. Of course, you're going to let these sit overnight. Yum, yum, yum. And it smells so peachy. Okay, and then I have one more thing to show you all. So that's going to be peach overnight oats. Wow. Wow, very peachy. Okay, those are going to be delicious. Okay, and then while I was digging in the freezer, I found like I said, I found some things that I didn't even know I had. Well, I had a bag of riced cauliflower. And Susie, yes, I do eat them cold depending on what flavor it is. So okay, so Susie wanted to know if I eat the overnight oats cold. Yes, I do, depending on what the flavor is. But sometimes I warm them up. So if it's like a chocolatey flavor or more like not a fruity flavor, if it's not a fruity flavor, I do sometimes heat them up. Okay, but I found in the freezer, I found a bag of I just said it, riced cauliflower with riced, I can't remember if it was sweet potatoes or butternut squash, but anyway, something orange. I found that, and I was shopping through the pantry, and I had 1 can of Rotel that I had from, I'm sure, from making soup, or, it may have been from making the peach salsa, but I had 1 can of Rotel. I had the 2 bags of the oats, of the old-fashioned oats that I found. And let's see, what else did I have? Oh, I had the chicken breast. So okay, John, we're not wrapping up just yet. You can go to bed, but we're not wrapping up just yet. Okay, it's cauliflower and sweet potatoes is what Debbie said. So I thought I was right the first time. What else did I just say was in there? Anyway, whatever. So this is kind of like trash can peppers. So real quick, because I've only left us 5 minutes and I knew we would not have time to make them. That's why I just went ahead and made them. And maybe I can get Kendall to let me do a video of us making them on Tuesday. But who loves stuffed bell peppers, but you hate how long it takes to make them? Because it just seems like they are tedious. Yeah, I did have marinara. I didn't use that in this one though. But it just seems like they are tedious. So I used what I had. So I already had some, I had some bell peppers, and I had, I had some jalapeno peppers. I had a couple of these peppers left out of the garden. So I just had all of this stuff in the freezer, and all this stuff that I found in the freezer, and I had the oats. And so I made, and I had the chicken, the ground chicken, that Julie taught me how to make. So Julie and Deanna taught me how to make ground chicken from chicken breasts. We covered that last week, I think. And I did just do a reel, and I'll post that later. But it takes forever to make them. This way, it's cooking it in the, I'm going to point the wrong direction. Cooking it in the pressure canner, pressure cooker, if you have an Instant Pot, you don't have to cook the meat first. And if you want to put rice in it, actual rice in it, you don't have to cook the rice first either. So this was a total experiment tonight. Turned out really well. The only thing is the turkey is not browned, but they taste delicious. I've already tested one of them. I'll try to get Kendall to help me do a video on Tuesday to show you how, but it is basically just peppers, anything you can find to stuff them with. So it was ground chicken breast, frozen, the riced cauliflower with the riced sweet potatoes, a half of a can of Rotel. I chopped up the peppers where I had cut off the top and a little bit of the bottom to make them stand up straight. I did some seasoning and just mixed all that together and stuffed them in there and cooked them in the pressure cooker. It took, I timed it. It took 17 minutes for it to come up to pressure. It took 20 minutes for them to cook. And then it took another 10 minutes for it to release from the pressure and be ready to come out. But I walked off. I did not have to stand there with them. So I didn't have to brown any hamburger. I didn't have to cook any rice. I didn't have to do any of that. And I used stuff that I already had. I used stuff that I already had in the freezer and stuff that I found in the freezer. And I wish, this is why I say I wish that we had smell-o-vision. If you could smell these, oh my gosh. And while they were cooking, so while they were under pressure, oh, so yummy, so delicious. So again, I'll try to get Kendall to help me make a video of that on Tuesday so that we can show you all how to make them. But that's it. This is my wind down to the Summer of Savings. Again, all of this, everything that I've used, I either already had it or picked it up at the store today, and I used a bag of change. Okay. So I wish I could have figured out how much money that I saved this summer just, using some of the things that we already had. But Everything that we had tonight, I either already had or I used a bag of change, and there's still more stuff, and including my expensive milk in the refrigerator. But I hope y'all had a great time this summer. I don't know what theme we're going to switch to next week, but I've really enjoyed kind of doing a theme and, you know, and kind of building on it every week. So if you enjoyed it, I hope you all will comment if you found a way to save money, or if you have a favorite way to save money. I hope that you will share it with everybody. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and let that next video roll over. And then go ahead and subscribe, pretty please, and comment, and then click that little bell so you'll know when the next video comes up. But I am going to take our stuffed peppers home, and I think that's probably what John and I are going to have for supper tomorrow night. Cannot wait to dig in to my overnight oats. They smell so fantastic, and that little teaser on the spoon tasted delicious. Please go and check out that link that Debbie shared on the recall on the protein shakes. I already checked mine. Mine was good. Just don't want anybody dying from a protein shake, okay? But y'all have a great evening and a great week, and I will see you next time. Good night.